What is up, y'all? Phil here, bringing your Monday Devo. Man, I am so excited that we still get to do these. I'm so excited to see you. Comment below how you're doing. Want to hear from you. See how things are going. Real quick, before I get into the Devo, though, a small little change coming up this Sunday. Mr. Matt is preaching. I'm so stoked for what he is going to be bringing to the table. Super stoked for the word that he's going to bring. So with that comes there's no elementary or pre-K programming going on. There's still going to be nursery. So if you got somebody in the nursery, man, still bring them. But there is no children's church going on the 29th of November. So keep that on your radar coming up this week. As I have been just reflecting on, 2020 has caused a lot for reflection. Things that we get to just kind of sit back and look at and just kind of think through, okay, how are things going? What's going on? And this verse has been continually coming to my mind because I found myself getting in positions where moving forward has been difficult because Phil's plans haven't worked out, or because I'm not entirely sure what the future holds, or something like that. And I think I really just needed some boldness and some courage in regards to the future. And this verse has kept coming to mind. Someone's probably already talked about this, honestly, in these devos, but it's Proverbs 19:21. It says, "You can make your plans. Man may make his plans, but ultimately the Lord's purposes will prevail." And what that verse is calling us to is to an element of trust and faith in God, which is fine and dandy. But here's what I want to challenge us to is because if you're like me, you grew up in church, you heard this phrase, we'll trust God with your future. Proverbs 3:5-6 kind of talk, and that's fine and dandy. Yet too often, when I was growing up, and even honestly sometimes now, I don't put in the effort to actually get to know what God is like. I'm not putting in the effort, or didn't put in the effort to get to know his character, to get to know what it means when we say he's faithful and doesn't change, to get to know like it's one of those things where if I if I'm doing a trust fall, and let's say my brother-in-law is the one catching me, if I had no idea who he was, that'd be kind of difficult for me to sit back and have someone say, well, no, just trust him. Like, trust, he's fine. He'll do it. I'd like to turn around and be like, okay, what's your name? Who are you? What do you like? What's your character? I want to know who you are before I just fall off a deck and have you catch me. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same, but it's a similar principle. Do we actually know the God that we are entrusting with our future? Do we know what it means when Scripture says, hey, his purposes are going to prevail? Do we know what God's purposes are? God's purposes are pretty clearly put forth in Scripture, but do we know them? And can we trust what we know from what we find in the Word? That's the thought. Is continue to trust God with the future when things are uncertain, with political things, with family things at Thanksgiving, with upcoming travel, with all those different things. Continue to trust God. But my challenge to you is to get to know the God you're trusting, to dive into the Word, and to find out what's he like. I love you all. I look forward to seeing you soon. Come back to church, by the way, if you haven't come back. We're hosting live services. It's awesome. We're loving it. Love seeing your faces. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey, something I forgot to mention is coming up in a couple days on the 25th. There's no Catalyst, so don't show up at the church. I won't be there. And also on the 29th, there's also no Grounded. We're going to have a full family worship Sunday. So, anywho, love you guys.